Welcome back, one and all, to Trails of Cold Steel 4. I am the Dark Seraph, and last time we were doing side quests or something. I don't quite remember. It's been a little while since I've been able to record. Life! Life gets in the way. Full-time job, 5 to 6 days a week. Don't even have a whole lot of time to edit. I have not edited any videos between 65 and 70 at this point. I guess 66 and 70 at this point. Yeah, and this is episode 69. Nice. Yeah, I haven't had time to edit or record. Luckily, I should be able to edit relatively soon. Oh, that's the Squirts. Hey, Squirt. Come on. What would that ever do to deserve such a cruel and inhumane punishment? My butt is still stinging. Don't even think I can sit down. You are sitting. Rose was right on this one, you know. You didn't have to cut class again. You tried to steal the pendulum from Altair. In my opinion, you got off easy. You should be grateful. Grateful? Easy for you to say. You get all these magic skills and you can just take off and explore the world whenever you want. You're set. If only. You don't really think it's that easy, do you? What? Once you become a witch, there are orders you have to follow. You've got to always protect Erebonia in whatever way it needs. I do feel like the outside world is calling me, but I have my duties that I can't just walk away from. I want to go out there. I want to walk around and take in the sights and the flowers, trees, and everything else they have to offer. I want to travel across the whole world and meet tons of new people. My biggest dream is just the same as yours. It's why I'm working so hard to become a wandering witch. So when the day comes, let's go out and see the world together. Huh. He must have got a ripe spanking. So he doesn't actually have strong magical powers like Blue Blanc or the rest of the members of Aaron Village. I'm not entirely convinced that Blue Blanc is not tied to this place. So, I've done all the quests. I've done everything there is to do. Let's report in. I have my predictions here. When we raided, or sieged Thor's military academy and leaves, the little princeling fop wasn't there.
Here to make a report? Great work,
Okay,
everyone!
the quests are already reported.
Best of luck.
Anyway, the princeling fop was not aboard the Merkaba. He wasn't there. Oh, he wasn't aboard there. We're on the Merkaba. He wasn't in I Can Play Cards with Celine. That's weird. That's just weird. I've already showered. So, let's... Anyway, like I was saying, Cedric and Shirley were not at Thor's. So, given the meeting we're going to, given the importance it has, I'm not spending... That is weird. I'm not gonna romance the sister. That's weird. An invitation to the Pantagruel, and from General Le Guin, no less. It seems Muse has been planning this for a long time. Yeah, sounds like it's a bigger deal than I imagined. I think we're gonna have the Vermilion rivalry. Given Kurt and Yuna are locked in, and Kurt has a very certain tie to Prince Cedric. So, if I have to take a guess, I can bond with... What's his face over here? Damn it, what was it? Eustace. Well, I got a bonding point. Let's do it real quick. He is the acting Duke Albarea, and given, you know, how Rufus is not the son of Helmut Albarea, instead his brother, that would mean that Eustace is the rightful heir to the throne. Well, not the throne, the dukedom. The verdant city of Boreahard. Must apologize for this inexcusable inconvenience I've forced on you both, as if matters weren't already complicated enough. I would have never imagined I would put you through such straits. You're already in a precarious position, and I've only given you cause for more worry. I'll hear nothing of the sort. You've done more than anything I could have ever asked. We can't stay for long, but I assure you I'll do my utmost to reduce the brunt of your workload. Squirts! Reminds him of Milliam. We haven't seen you in forever. Rabbit, you can't just tackle him like that. Ease up a little. Oh, I don't mind at all. Really, I'm just glad to see you two looking so well. Thank you so much, both of you. Eustace. Ah, paperwork. It seems I'm stirred up a little fuss. Still, I'll admit, that tackle error caught me a bit off guard. It was right when I began acting as Duke, the first time she came by the mansion to see me. She visited a number of times without any word of warning and always shared her latest intel, from operations to students, to what have you. Past that, we'd just indulge in tea and snacks and just relax. He grew very attached to her. Milliam, what brings you here all of a sudden? Hey, Eustace, I'm just in the neighborhood for some work. Good timing, huh? Just thought I'd stop by. How have you been? How many times do I have to tell you to behave as a lady of your age? Yeah, she's like 17, 18 by that point. Your family's got the best tea and cakes, hands down. You're getting a bit on your face there, Milliam. Really? Mind getting it for me? Oh, adios, what am I ever going to do with you? She'd become like a sister to me. Thinking about it now, she probably was concerned for me as far back as even before our graduation. I stepped up as Duke at a time when I was dealing with my father's arrest and my brother's keeping his distance, and she supported me through it all. Out of everyone in Class 7, Milliam was brimming with the potential of the most absolute, wasn't she? I've said that weird. Even now, bet she would have been. What we ought to do is focus on what's to come. Milliam protected us and provided the opportunity for a future beyond all of this turmoil. So our only goal is now to ensure we protect this world no matter what. And when that future really comes, we'll be there to witness it for her, who deserved to see its fruition the most. That way, Milliam will always carry on in our hearts as well. So you can never give up on yourself, Ring, no matter what the circumstances you face. Even after we get past this, we each have to do our own. You're right. I hear you loud and clear. And rest assured, I don't intend on ever giving up on myself. Let's keep on facing toward the future, whatever it may throw at us, Vermilion. That was nice! I've gone and picked up the sword you had sharpened. Thank you. A new saber? That sword. This would be the holy sword Elvaris. I sent it to an artisan I know to sharpen it back to proper form. This blade that has been handed down in the family for generations, together with its sibling sword which my brother possesses. You're not one to roll over in defeat, are you? So I got a new weapon for him. Do I actually get to keep that, or is it just going to poof into the ether? The Holy Sword Elvaris. Okay, yes, I can equip that to Eustace, which I'll be doing right now. Yes, okay, it is just cosmetic. Okay. I want to bring him in. I was hoping it was going to be a special weapon. But yeah, I'm thinking Cedric and Shirley are going to show up to crash the party. And we're going to be having the Vermilion rivalry. That is purely an assumption. I don't know. But what is for certain is we will have to face him. Neutral airspace over the Erebonian, Liberal, and Calvert border. Maybe not today, but there will come a time when we must square off. Merkaba number 8, this is the Pantagruel speaking. Your ship is now permitted to dock. Follow the beacon. Understood. We really are over a three-way border, if only just barely. The non-interventional zone should span the entire surrounding area, supposedly. Not much of chance for interfering when you're straddling 3 entire countries. Yeah. Plus its off-invasion route into the Republic, it makes for a pretty effective blind spot. So who am I? I guarantee someone's gonna come crash the party. Pantagruel landing craft. And an Avior-class gunship. Scout ships from the Pantagruel and more from the northeast and south. And that is a Republic gunship.
Indeed, important figures from each one of our neighboring countries. The Kingdom of Liberl, the Principality of Remiferia, and even the Republic of Calvard. And if all goes to plan, we'll have a few special guests from the Bracer Guild and the SSS join us too.
You are one cunning little bitch, Muse, and I like that. I must say, I like your more dignified approach, where you're not flirting with Reen every 10 seconds. Frontal hold. Been about a month. This is where you escaped from. This ship is huge. Hey, the Bobcat's here. Just like Josette said.
So, you showed up after all.
And just who the hell are you? Oh. Brigadier General Wallace Bardius.
As do you, Schwarzer. Despite everything General Le Guin and Miss Clotilda tell me you've been through. Your Highness, Lady Angelica, it's a pleasure to have you back safely with us.
Thank you, Brigadier General. We appreciate it. Who would have thought you'd be meeting here on the Pantagruel at a time like this?
Agreed. Things have taken a real turn since Ordis's last provincial council. What happens here today could very well change the course of history.
Wow. Quite the assemblage, then. Indeed it is. In fact, some of our guests have already arrived. Though many of them are simply here to
Follow
observe.
me, everyone.
Been a while since I've been in here. It doesn't even begin. Incredible doesn't even begin to describe this. Actually, haven't you been here, Instructor Reen, before, Allie? It's a bit of a long story, but I shall not reveal the details of his misconduct during that occasion. Reen? What did you do? That's just a misunderstanding. I walked in on her while she was sleeping. I'm not entirely convinced. I'm sure he didn't have impure intentions. That's the whole problem. His heart is too pure. As I've told you before, Reen, nobody likes a goody two-shoes. Boy, they're spelling it right out there. That's hilarious. Like, there's nothing dirty or weird going on, and that just makes it weirder. It just makes it worse because he's just wandering around and just gets into weird situations. You got that right. Can you guys just not? We've known you for a while of your unsociable ways. Yeah, you've already accepted the fact that you're completely clueless about people's feelings, Reen. Reen's got no luck at all there. All bad luck, I'd say. Ugh. This brings back memories. Reen carried me in his arms. Oh man, I forgot about that. Man, there was a lot going on that day. I doubt anyone there that day expected that sort of daring escape from you. That must have been cool. Reen, you hound. You can't really judge a book by its cover. Guys like you and Lloyd are really something else. Leave some charm for the rest of us. Sarah, Toa, requesting permission to burst into tears. Denied. It just means everyone here likes you, Reen. You're a lucky man.
Wow. Looks like the party's already started.
Kinda feels like this meeting was a long time coming, huh?
Is that who I think it is? Yep. Lloyd and the SSS. There's Kia.
Well, I'll be.
Took you guys long enough.
As well as the trio from Trails of the
Long time
Sky.
no see, Tita.
Have you grown a few, Reach? Or am I imagining things?
Estelle, Joshua, and
The Squirt.
Hello again, Tita. Remember our promise?
Ren!
I still think her name should be Renee.
Oh, you guys.
Just because
You
it
have no
sounds
idea
nicer,
how
but you know,
happy
it
I
is
am
what
to
it
see
is. I think they do.
Don't you get me started, too.
So melodramatic. And here I thought you two'd have grown out of this by now.
You're one to talk. I can see you getting a little choked up yourself. Seems like you've been holding up pretty well, Agate.
As if there was any doubt. We're making progress, don't get me wrong. But there's still a lot left to take care of.
All the more reason to stay on top of our game from here on.
Oh, Sarah! You're here, too!
Nice to see you again. It's been too long.
Man, it sure has. What's it been, like 3 years since you were last here in the Empire? Oh yeah, let me introduce you to Fee. Sup?
Fee? Like, the Fee? That petite powerhouse they keep talking about in all the guild branches?
It's a pleasure to meet you, Sylphide. As you can see, we've heard all about the work you've been doing.
You can just call me Fee. I've heard a thing or two about you guys, too. You know, from Agate and Sherazard.
Sylphide
Oh,
Russell.
yeah? Trust them to embarrass us like that.
Speaking of Shera, we still don't know where she is, do we?
Not a clue. We know she's still alive, at least. Way I figure, if she was in trouble, she'd contact us with that thing she's got.
Right. It's only been about 2 weeks since we last heard from her.
She left Heimdall altogether just after that, didn't she?
Yeah, I've got all the other Erebony embracers looking out for her too.
Tio!
Oh, okay.
Nice tackle, Kia. Lloyd, Ellie, I'm glad you guys managed to come.
Of course. We wouldn't miss this.
Oh, I can't help myself. Come here, you two.
Ellie, I can't breathe.
Oh, Tio, I'm so relieved to see you're okay. Yona's been worried about you too, you know.
Oh, you don't say. That's cool. But also, I could really use some air.
Hoo-wee! The dynamic duo's getting bigger and bigger by the day.
Good to see you, Randy.
Right back at you, Lloyd.
Now hold on a moment. You didn't think I'd just let that little comment of yours slide, did you?
Who's the dynamic duo? Me and Tio? I don't think we got any taller.
No, not a... crap. Forget I said anything, alright?
Shame on you, Randy. There are children here.
And we didn't forget about you, Yuna. Kia's been telling us about all you've been up to.
We heard you helped set Tio free. I'm so proud of you.
Well, that was more Class 7 as a whole. It was just part of our mission. As someone who's always looked up to the SSS, it's so great seeing all of you back together again.
What do you mean? You're one of us too, Yuna. Mm-hmm. You're a lot closer to the SSS than you give yourself credit for.
That's right. You carry on the spirit of Crossbell in a way all your own.
I think we're all aware of how much you look up to the SSS. But you know what? It goes both ways. We're just as proud of you too, Yuna. Every one of us.
She is one plucky little powerhouse.
Thank you.
Well, at the very
Plucky
least,
be
you've
the
gotten
right
a
way
bit
to
more
describe
tame
her.
since the first day you bucked into the branch campus.
Come on, Randy. Let me have my moment. Oh, right. Elisa, over here.
Hello, Ellie. How are you? I'm so glad you guys finally got the chance to reunite.
Thank you, Elisa. Allow me to congratulate you on your reunion as well.
Aw, thanks.
I suppose I'd better introduce myself for those of you who don't know me. My name is Rean Schwarzer, graduate of Thor's Military Academy, Class 7. Ellie, Estelle, Joshua. It's a pleasure to meet you.
The pleasure is ours. Elisa's told me quite a bit about you already. Perhaps a bit too much, actually.
Oh, Ellie!
Definitely know you by now, after all the stories we've heard. From Tita's letters and Ren. Even Olivier and Toval.
I see. It's no surprise you knew His Highness, but I wasn't aware you knew Toval too.
Yup. We met back on our first trip in Erebonia. He helped us out a bunch. It's good to meet you, Rean. This has definitely been a long time coming. Don't worry. You can loosen up around us. We're the same age, more or less, right?
Got it. I think I'll take you up on that. Looking forward to working with you guys.
Yeah, for sure.
As are we.
Oh.
Ash, you need to talk to
It's
them.
been a while, Lloyd. How have you been?
Busy, to say the least. It's been crazy this past year and a half. I really owe you for your help during Operation Birdcage. I'm sure I'll get the chance to return the favor, though. I get the feeling we're gonna be seeing a lot more of each other. From here on, Rean, we fight on the same side. As equals.
You are allies at this
Instructor
point.
Rean?
Honestly, I'm not sure I even deserve to shake your hand. I'm
Oh,
sure
stop
you've
it.
heard about what I've done. The mistake I made.
Rean.
He lost control. Set the curse
It's my
loose.
fault that the curse spread throughout not only the Empire, but Crossbell too. It's the same with North Ambria and Jirai as well. Even this awful war with Calvard. I have no idea how I can even begin to apologize.
No, Rean. That's wrong. It's my duty as a detective to look beyond what's on the surface. You want to know what I see? I see that this was all a setup from the very start. Nothing you could have done would have possibly changed the outcome. I see a man who, despite it all, never fell to despair. A man who continues to push back, even at this very moment. Not just for Crossbell, or even Erebonia, but for the world itself and all who reside in it. Within you lies the strength of countless allies, helping you move forward through whatever may come. I'd like the SSS to be a part of that, Rean. To be one of those allies there by your side. Empire or Crossbell, where we're from doesn't matter anymore. Now we're fighting for the world itself. Together.
Lloyd. This guy, I swear.
Wow, they are two peas in a fucking
Now
pod.
I understand why you look up to him the way you do.
Yep. Told you he was great.
They're both
Wow.
goody two
How
shoes.
am I supposed to follow up a speech like that? I'll gladly take your words to heart. It's good to have you with us, Lloyd. I'll be honest with you, our situation is looking grim, and it's only going to get worse from here. But that's never stopped us before. With you on board, we'll overcome every barrier in our way.
You got it.
That goes for us, too. We Laburlians got your back.
I see you've saved me the trouble of rounding you up.
General Le Guin.
Principal Le Guin.
Dashing as ever.
Right on time.
General.
Is everything ready?
Is she?
General Aurelia Le Guin, commander of the Viceland Army.
Wow. I can tell this lady's a serious badass.
And
That's
she's
an
damn pretty.
understatement. She's one of the greatest swordmasters of our generation.
Bracers of Liberl, Special Support Section. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Aurelia Le Guin. Well met, all of you. I'd love to chat with each of you individually, of course, but time is of the essence. I suspect our other guests are anxious to get things underway.
Representatives of every major government.
I knew it.
Wow, if it isn't the Special Support Section. I do believe it's been around 2 years since our paths last crossed. Though it would seem Arios is not with you this time around.
A pleasure to see you again, Your Lordship.
Our apologies. Arios had some pressing matters to attend to, though he did make sure to send his regards.
Is that so? I suppose I expected as much. A man in his position seldom has any time to spare. Princess Elphin, I bring you my greetings and condolences both. We received news of Emperor Eugen's condition, as well as the tragedy that befell Prince Olivert. I can only imagine the pain this must put you through. You have my deepest sympathies.
And you have my sincerest appreciation, Your Lordship. I must admit, I didn't expect to be able to meet with you so soon.
Nor did I. A silver lining in the dark cloud that brought us here. Lady Mildine, allow me to thank you once again for the invitation.
The gratitude is ours, Your Lordship. It's an honor to receive you.
Ha ha! This is quite an extraordinary crowd we have here.
Given the
Correct
officer
me if I'm
behind
wrong,
him,
SSS,
that is
but it
the
was 2
president
years
of
ago that we
Calvert.
last met as well, was it not?
Yes, back at the trade conference.
It's good to see you again, sir.
Princess Elphin, Lady Mildine, I don't believe I've ever formally had the pleasure. Though I suppose in a way we aren't entirely unfamiliar with each other. I had the privilege of meeting your brother, you see, back during the conference.
Ah, yes, he mentioned you before. Pleased to finally make your acquaintance. Knowing you're here helps put into perspective the true scale of Operation Meal Mirage.
It's an honor to have you. We do appreciate you taking the time to come. After all, I'm sure you, of all people, have been particularly busy of late, President Rocksmith.
What? No way!
So that's how this is gonna go.
President
I don't even know how to
Calvert
react.
Republic.
How silly of us. I didn't realize we had neglected to make our introductions.
In that case, allow me to go first.
Yes, he is the ruler of the Principality of Remetheria.
I am Albert von Bartolomeus, Grand Prince of the Principality
Bartolomeus.
of Remetheria. It's a pleasure to meet you, students and alumni of Thor's Military Academy.
Samuel Rocksmith.
And I'm Samuel Rocksmith, President of the Republic of Calvert. I'm sure I'm the last person you would expect to see here.
Prince Albert is one thing, but President Rocksmith?
Indeed. And in person, no less.
I'm not
What's
surprised.
the president of Calvert doing here? We're on the verge of war.
That is exactly why I chose to attend, Machias Regnitz.
If he can negotiate terms, we can avoid war.
Ah, and you must be the acting Duke Alberea. And, you're Fee Clausel, correct?
Let me
You're
guess.
well-knowledged.
She told you. As I suspected, you work for Calvert's Central Intelligence Department.
CID. Second Lieutenant. And there's the Prince
That's right.
Secretary.
I'm a second lieutenant in the CID, as well as a member of the Special Force Hercules. Thanks for your help before, by the way.
I'm Lucy Sayland, Private Secretary to the Grand Prince. For those of you we met before, it's a pleasure to see you again.
Now I understand. You were investigating Erebonia's internal affairs to prepare for today's meeting.
Wait, back up a sec. If the heads of Remiferia and Calvert are here, then...
There's only one more big nation we're missing.
The Queen of Liberl.
It would seem they've arrived.
They made it.
Oh, you have got to be shitting me.
Liberl has just as much a stake in this as anyone else, after all.
They'll be directly involved, and they'll be forced to pick a side. The King and Queen of Liberl.
It's the Princess of Liberl. And beside her...
Princess.
Man, today's just full of surprises, isn't it?
Sorry for the delay. I have to say, this is the most luxurious ship I've ever seen.
Thank you once again for inviting us.
Interesting how she came armed. I guarantee that saber on her hip is by far more than just show. And there's the king himself. Cassius Bright. No, that's the Lieutenant General in the Crown Princess.
My name is Claudia von Auslies. I will be participating on behalf of Queen Alicia II of Liberl. Delighted to make your acquaintance, everyone.
Cassius Bright, Lieutenant General of the Royal Army of Liberl. Unfortunately, we don't really have time for pleasantries. How about we get straight down to business?
Understandable. Shit is getting real. This one will be a bit longer. I've been going for 38 minutes now, and it's all dialogue. Everyone in their proper attire. I love her little hat. This feels more like a summit than an informal meeting concerning parties. Yeah, but Eustace and Angelica must have known this was coming. Yes, Muse planned this to include representatives from powers outside Erebonia right from the beginning, though we had no idea who exactly would be invited nor in attendance. Turns out Operation Mille Mirage has many influential backers, and the Lieutenant General of Liberl is one of them. Cassius Bright, the tactical genius who stopped the Empire's invasion during the 100 Days War. After the war, he left the army and worked as a bracer. He and my father were good friends. I think I remember something involving him around 4 years ago. Right, when multiple Erebonian branches of the guild were blown up. When the anomaly started in Liberl, he rejoined the army. And now that he's having a friendly chit-chat with the president of Calvert, whose country's about to get invaded by Erebonia, that Muse is an excellent matchmaker. She even reached out to Remiferia. Remiferia is in a similar situation right now. The Empire is pressuring both of them to allow the army safe passage. I mean, that is the proper course of action. I mean, you don't just want to send troops through a neighboring country to get to the country you actually want to invade, because doing that usually starts an international incident. I mean, just ask Germany when they sent troops through Belgium in, what was it, 1912, I believe, when they invaded Belgium to get to Serbia. That's a reference to World War I, when Serbian assassins killed Archduke Franz Ferdinand in the city of Sarajevo. And they were by far the worst assassins in all of history, because their motives and actions didn't exactly say subtle. Neither are particularly willing to do so, but they fear retaliation should they decline. Refusal could be constructed as siding with Calvert. Small nations can't afford to be assertive against an overwhelming power like Erebonia. Yeah. that'll probably be the main topic of discussion. While those nations can't openly oppose the Empire, we, along with the Bracers and the SSS, are more free to take action. This is a good opportunity to speak with the other parties involved. Not just Liberl and Crossbell, but Rimaferia and even Calvard. So I get to learn more about the entire world. Don't you and Joshua go back? Look, that ain't confirmed, and I don't really remember him. You just confirmed it. Still, you two might want to talk to clear things up. Yeah, Ash is a survival of Pommel. Okay, I just got a lag spike. I need to get through this to fix that. Okay, got that little spike fixed. And yeah, I just gotta go around talking to people. We'll start over here. There you are. Steadily working your way through the crowd. Are you going to talk to Kayla too? If that's okay, Second Lieutenant Kayla, Special Second Lieutenant Kayla. Yes, you may speak to me at any time without reservation, Ashen Chevalier. I'm grateful for your help the other day. I had a feeling you guessed who I was right from the start. I had my suspicions. It seems I interrupted your conversation. We were just touching up on recent internal affairs in Calvard. I'm not sure what you might have heard about the situation. The ruling party lost to the opposition of the recent elections. Once President Rocksmith's term ends, he'll be forced to step down. Yes, I read about it in the Chronicle. That's a drastic change. The country is already in a crisis, but there's also been acts of terrorism carried out by the anti-immigration faction. Immigration is a very divisive issue in the Republic. With each passing day, it's becoming more apparent how weak our country is. I expect our leaders to announce a new course of action after today's decision. That's scary. Oh, you two still have more to say. By the way, it's good to see you again. How's Kilika been? Same as ever, she's one iron lady. You make it sound as though a long time has passed since you were in Calvard. Angelica, that Kilika is who I think she is? You picked up on the name, huh? She's a practitioner of Taito. She's the one who taught me. Thought so. Kayla, have you been trained in Taito as well? No. Although I do admire Eastern martial arts and swordsmanship, for certain the two arts require serious dedication and investment of one's time. I admire you for having reached the intermediate level of the 8 leaves, 1 blade style. Thank you. It's kind of neat, nice. That's a neat take. Let's start over here. It's an honor to speak with you again. We haven't had the chance to talk leisurely since we were last in the garden. It's been a while. I was kind of having an identity crisis last time we met. Somehow, we've always been too busy to really talk. True. Damn, all the generals are strong as hell. You managed to hold off McBurn all on your own in the canyon. That's awesome. My father fought McBurn as well, though he seemed to have been alright. The damage his body suffered manifest later. Have you noticed anything similar? No, luckily I seem okay. I don't think it's because of McBurn was going easy on me. He seemed dead set on inflicting as much pain as possible. I think he might have been particularly vicious when he was fighting the Viscount Arcade. I was worried about Wallace. Good to know he's okay. and these two have something to say. Well, well, is that you, Schwarzer? You look awfully serious. The situation's pretty serious. At least I finally have a sense of what direction I'm heading in. I've got my allies to thank for that, and for lending me their strength. Need some water? That's good. Gaius, you seem to have gotten used to your new powers. Backhorn was a legend, no doubt about it. But I think you'll be another. Kind of you to say so. I hope it won't sound patronizing, but I'm concerned about you. I see now that I needn't have worried. You're doing so well for yourself, you'll go far if you keep it up. The cat, Celine. There you are. Introducing yourself to all the important people, are we? Something like that. Well, I thought it couldn't hurt. So what are you up to? Not much. Mostly standing around. I've been on this airship before. I've seen all there is to it. Anyway, the talks will be over soon, so I might as well wait here. Something bothering her? She's not hiding it very well, is she? It's about the man from Liberl, Cassius. She's acting funny around him. He's a master of the 8 leaves, 1 blade style. He's known as the Divine Blade. What are you talking about behind my back? We're kind of right in front of your face, Jubilee. It's rude to exclude people from a conversation when they're right there with you. Very true, very well said. Sorry about that. Are you okay? Are you doing okay, Rosine? More or less. I received a report of Ouroboros activity from the High Seat when I was on the way here. Nothing happened yet, though. Yeah. I guarantee we're gonna have some party crashers at this. Secretary Lucy. This coffee is excellent. And the biscuits are great. They're Remetherian specialties. I'm glad they're to your liking. Afternoon coffee and biscuits. What a wonderful custom. I could get used to this. Those you're eating cake. So true. I was worried that you'd be pretty unapproachable, since you're the Grand Prince's secretary. I was surprised to learn that you're not much older than us. You're really young for your position. My situation is quite different. I'm friends with Princess Alphen. I've been appointed especially for this occasion. My family is quite well known in Remetheria. You might have heard of the Silens? I think I've heard it before. The Cylon Company produces medical equipment shipped worldwide. Remetheria is famous for being at the forefront of medical research, which becomes a battering chip in relations with other nations. The Cylon family, besides owning a prosperous medical company, has strong connections in the government. Interesting. And that's all they have to say. I'm just kind of eavesdropping at that point. Grace! Well, I'm sure I'm lucky getting invited aboard the Pantagruel to carry out exclusive interviews. So many interesting people here all in one place. Ali, Tio, Elisa, and even Emma of the Hexen clan. I didn't get a chance the other day in Crossbell, so let me say this now. This has got to be fate. Adios must have guided me here to interview you all. What do you say? Later, if it doesn't take too long. Sorry, but I'd prefer to keep it. You kept me out of the papers. Ever the keen journalist, Grace. You should be aware of this, but you won't be allowed to publish anything about this meeting in the foreseeable future. What about freedom of the press? I'm just kidding. I know that this is pretty crucial. I have to sit on it. I understand that being invited to a top secret get-together is a great privilege, and I won't get to be able to write about it until everything calms down. But once international relations become somewhat normalized, I'll get the green light to this published special report. After all, my duty as a journalist is to observe and document important events without putting a bias. You cannot put your own political beliefs into what you're writing about. Something no journalist has ever been able to do, and no one who's ever written history has ever been able to do. Every history book is biased. Every journalist is biased. Every book ever written is biased. History is written by the victors, and history is full of liars. It will always be written through their own biased perspective. The man of the hour. Rean Schwarzer, will you agree to an interview? I'm not at liberty to talk about a lot of things. Grace, you're putting him on a spot. She's very single-minded about interviewing people. She is a nice person. You're no help at all, T.O. Rean, you look just like Grace walking around and sniffing up info. Well, it's not like I'm not curious about the meeting. By the way, I'm surprised that Vita didn't show up. Me too. She left the barrier and vanished. It worries me. Yeah, it's kind of suspicious. You're nervous she's plotting something. It's Vita. Of course she's plotting something. I didn't mean to sound ungrateful, but since she's helped us numerous times, Vita's known to pursue pretty questionable goals. I think we should give her the benefit of the doubt. Everyone's innocent until proven guilty. Not according to Twitter. Thanks, Rean. If only the same could be said of my mother. Chairman Arena? Well, she's raised a wonderful daughter. There's no way she could be an entirely bad person. That's very nice of you. Grace, control yourself. I'm still on the fence about who I'm going to romance Rean with. It's between these two. I'll tell you that right now. You've bulked up since I last saw you, Lloyd. You haven't grown much taller, though. Life on the road's better than hitting the gym. I had to get my outfits retailored. I didn't even notice. You see him every day, so the difference isn't as obvious. But he looks like his brother now, doesn't he? I've only seen him in pictures, but yeah, I'd say so. Now, if only I had his height, too. It isn't Guy Bannings you were referring to, is it? He was once a high-ranking officer at the Crossbell Police Department, but died in the line of duty 5 years ago. We used to live nearby. I only know him from his I only know him from visions of the past I've seen here and there. He was tall and seemed like a really reasonable guy. Yeah, I feel like such a kid compared to him. But there's no use wishing I was more like my brother. I've got to play the cards I've been dealt. And there's more these people have to say. And there's more in the next room over. Rean, aren't you busy playing nice with everyone? I've got to make the most of this opportunity. Lloyd, there's a lot for us to catch up on. I'd love to get a drink or two with you if we had the time. Sweet, I'm coming. How about we go to a place I know when this thing lands? It's got some pretty nice... Randy! Alright. That's like Randy. Actually, that reminds me. Risha Mao has been elsewhere, hasn't she? Yeah, there's a bunch of different factions at play here, both within and outside of Erebonia. The other members of the SSS and our close allies are all busy dealing with them. Like Noel, Chief Sergei, Dudley, and Arios. Okay. Oh, excuse me. A bit tired. I believe you are just projecting, Randy. Oh, I can play cards with him? I'll try a round, sure.
Here's to a good, clean match.
That's a pretty good starting hand. I know that seemed like a waste, but I wanted to get... I don't have very strong cards. I haven't really kept up with this. Ah, jeez, he's getting a whole army out there. He's got a big field advantage right now. I can survive one more round, that'd be great. I don't see it happening, though. Oh, wow, I did. But I doubt I'm gonna survive. I doubt that this is the end.
Look at that! I won.
You did. I'm not a. I don't have a very good deck. Like I said, I have not been keeping up with it. Let's go talk over here. Hey Kurt, Ash, good to see you again. Happy to have your instructor back? Yes, very much. It was only possible thanks to everyone's help. Agate was pretty impressive with that sword of his. Really see where he got that name. Those two weren't bad either. I know I've taken a couple swings, but I was just one of many taking part in Operation Bust Reen Out. Same goes for me and Kia. Maybe our timing was lucky, but credit goes to everyone. Joshua, Ash. Don't the two of you have something more important to talk about? Friend. She's right. Don't put it off. Everything's going to shit right now. There's no guarantee you'll be able to see each other again. You two need to sort things out. There's no denying that Raquel has become a home to you, Ash. But I'm sure there's value in learning about the place that led you there. Hamel was just a small village. It had no more than a few dozen inhabitants. As a result, there were very few children living there. Lo was the oldest at 16, my sister Kieran was 15, and I was 6. There was another boy, too, 3 years old. He was too young to play with us, much. But ever since he was a baby, we looked after him. I was looking forward to playing with him when he got a little older. He was like a little brother to me. Then those peaceful days ended abruptly. A group of Jaeger dropouts posing as the Royal Army opened fire on villagers. I watched as Jan and Emilia were shot. There was blood everywhere. Their son fell to the ground, blood all over his clothes. We fled. We ran and ran, too afraid to even look back. Survival was the only thing on our minds. That boy didn't die, though. He merely fainted from the shock. We had no idea. Eventually, we made it out of the village. Lois stayed behind to distract our pursuers. He told me and Kieran to keep running. Karen. But we got ambushed by another group of Jaeger dropouts. Joshua. That's heart-wrenching. I've heard it before, but it gets me every time. That's what happened 14 years ago, at least how I remember it. That boy we left behind might have had a different perspective on the events that day. He may have hated us for escaping without him, and I couldn't blame him. That bullet you fired at the Emperor should have been for me. Joshua! It was a shock when I heard about what happened. I realized the burden that boy from Hamel had to live with. Even though I felt immense guilt we hadn't checked to see if he was alive, that we hadn't taken him with us, there was another feeling too. Joy. I couldn't say how happy it made me when I found out you'd survived. Thanks for being patient and listening to this long story of mine. Don't know why you'd bother telling me when it's got nothing to do with me, but it wasn't entirely boring. I managed to stay awake till the end. Ash. Glad to hear it. The Hamel tragedy took place about the same time when I was taken to Ymir. Yeah, those same Jaeger dropouts are the ones who attacked Reen's family. I didn't notice you were there, instructor. Hey, Reen. Eavesdrop much? Sorry about that. But the same event Joshua was talking about pretty much changed the course of my life, too. So it was relevant. Why so defensive, Ash? I thought you said Joshua's story had nothing to do with you. Yeah. She got you there. Whatever, screw all that old drama. We've got plenty of new drama we could talk about instead. For example, what's going on with you and Russell? What the hell are you talking about? Why don't you share with the rest of the class? Ren, it's not like that. Damn, you can't even see what's right in front of your face, old man. We all know what's going on. It's obvious to anyone with half a brain. What the hell are you calling old, you little brat? I'm 28. Why are we even talking about this? That's very Ash. Way to change the topic. He used to be such a crybaby. I'm glad Adios kept him safe. Not just her, just thanks to a number of kind-hearted people. Yeah, he really doesn't want to admit he's from Hamel, but we all know he's from Hamel. I never dreamed I'd be in the presence of the President of Calvard and the Grand Prince of Rimaferia. The Crown Princess and Lieutenant General are here too. Man, this place is crammed top to bottom with big wigs. Me, on the other hand, I'm just some schmuck with an airship. What am I even doing here? What's the problem? You're right at mingling. They're teasing her. I'm sorry I'm not reading all this. I'm just tired. And there's more for them to talk about. Great, great. This will be a long one. You're quite the social butterfly today. Just making sure I get to talk to everyone. Cassius is next on the list. Mise's not a bad person. I can only imagine she must have been planning this for a while. She tries not to show it, but the situation in the Empire has probably bothered her a lot. You noticed it too, didn't you, instructor? I did. But from what I've heard, Yuna saw right through her when they met back up.
Sure, you may also be a genius who can come up with plans to change the fate of the world, but that's beside the point. There's no way an ordinary girl like you would be okay with a plan that would cost millions of people their lives, is there?
Being okay with a plan and being forced to take course of action with that plan are two very different things. Her mask fell for a second. She's only 16, even younger than Fee. I've heard this and that about Cayenne family. The Duke before the last was widely believed to be just and wise. When he died in an accident, his younger brother inherited the title, but all he cared about was his own personal interests. Duke Croix Useleth de Cayenne. Yuze's foolish uncle even stirred up the Civil War, and their family was about to be stripped of their title and privilege. And yet here we are, with Muse as the mastermind behind a plan to save the world. She's got more balls than anyone on this ship. I think I can empathize with her more after hearing that. I want to get through this. I want to get through all the dialogue and call it an... Oh my god, there's still more here! Oh, Estelle, there's something I've been dying to know. You and Joshua are together, right? But how far exactly have you guys gone? That's out of the blue. Don't try to wiggle out of it now. I'm burning with curiosity. You wouldn't have tried to dodge the question unless... Whoa. What are you all bugging me about? I can't tell you with Reen right there. What if he hears? Looks like they're talking about something personal. I don't want to be a third wheel. Well, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4... A sixth wheel, so I better go. And now I can step out of here. And head right back in here.
Oh, you there, young man.
You're Reen Schwarzer, correct?
Yes, I'm honored to make your acquaintance.
As am I. Stories of the Ashen Chevalier have certainly made their rounds across Calvin. Though I suppose not all of those stories paint you in the best light.
Well, I'm being told through a biased perspective, so that's understandable. However, I hear you single-handedly destroyed a number of our tanks and gunships without killing those within it. It was quite a feat, which spiked my curiosity. I see why Lady Mildine and Princess Alphen and even General Le Guin hold you in such high esteem. Thank you for the compliment. Please accept my apologies about your tanks. It was nothing personal. Also, you played a part in the Northern War. Rimaferia and Northumbria have been on the friendly terms for quite a long time. It pains me greatly we could not do anything to help them. Your involvement contributed to a significant reduction in casualties among the civilians. You're giving me way too much credit. I wasn't acting alone. No need to be humble. I've heard stories about you from refugees who fled to Rimaferia when Northumbria was incorporated within the Empire. Modesty is a fine trait, but it starts to grate when people downplay their achievements. Acknowledge your importance. You're the person whose actions may very well decide the fate of the world. There's still plenty of time until dinner. If you'd like to chat some more, I'll be in my room. Since the acting Duke Alberea and the fellow from the Inspectorate are here, why not invite them along? I've already informed them. I'll also be retiring to my room until dinner. Feel free to come see me if you wish. I'd like to speak with Lloyd, too. So I get to speak with the bigwigs now.
I was wondering when we'd finally get the chance to meet.
And there's Cassius himself. Lieutenant General Cassius Bright. I've heard much about you from Master Cafe. I don't think I've had the chance to introduce myself to you either, Your Highness. I am Reen Schwarzer, son of Baron Teo Schwarzer and a disciple of the 8 Leaves, 1 Blade School. I currently work as an instructor at Thor's Military Academy's branch campus. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Oh, no. The pleasure is all mine, I assure you. In a way, this feels closer to a reunion than a first meeting. Perhaps it's due to all the tales I've heard about you from Tita and Josette. And from Prince Olivert as well.
I'm honored to hear that. What happened to Olivert was truly heartbreaking. We heard this grand vision. You see, it wasn't only within Erebonia's best interest in mind, but those of our entire continent. He was a good man. Victor and Toval were good friends of mine as well. Their deaths have dealt a heavy blow to Erebonia. I'd say it was felt all throughout the whole continent. But now we must carry on without them. Even if that involves committing to something that most certainly would never approve of. If you'd like, why not stop by for a chat for a bit before dinner? Cassius, you wanted to talk to Estelle, didn't you? I think this will be a good place to end the episode because I've been going for over an hour.
Oh, Rean! There you are!
Alphen. Hello, Princess Alphen. Are you alright? Of course. I was shocked about the topics of discussion, but I suppose it's good we are able to talk about these pressing issues. I'm sorry I couldn't reveal the intended scale when I invited you, Princess. I trust you understand this was inevitable reality. Your presence here was of the utmost importance. I'm well aware of my responsibilities. With neither father nor my brothers available, it falls to me to represent the Imperial family and remain informed on the situation. Dinner won't be served for a while. Princess Alphen, Elise, why don't you join me for tea? You may join us as well, Instructor, but the topic of discussion will most likely not interest you, given how easily you embarrass. I can never tell if you're joking, Muse, but tea sounds good to me. I have to do required sub-events. Okay, yeah, I got to speak with people and then proceed the main quest. Well, I'm gonna end this one here. Thank you all for watching. Join me next time on Trails of Cold Steel 4 as more politics. But until then, I'm the Dark Seraph, signing off.